Right. I now call this meeting of the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District on this date of December 8th, 2022 to order at 6:03 PM. Board Clerk, will you please call the order?
Yes, good evening, directors. I will begin with Director Gould,
Present.
Wood,
Present.
Sheets. Present. Director Rice, are you present on Zoom? Not hearing him, I'll move to Director Jones,
Here.
Director Clark,
Present.
and President Sailors, turning it over to you.
Thank you very much. The next item on this agenda is the pledge to the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, the honor guard shall do our flag tonight.
Mark time. Mark. Detail. Halt. Left about. March. All uniform personnel, present arms. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Arms. Ready? Post. Okay. Present. Arms. Order. Arms. Recover.
We may all now be seated. Thank you very much. The next item on the agenda is the Metro Cable announcement. The open session meeting is videotaped for Cablecast on Metro Cable 14. Replay on Saturday, December 10th at 2 PM and Monday, December 12th at 6 PM on Channel 14. Webcast at metro14live.saccounty.net. We now have the public opportunity to discuss matters of public interest within the district jurisdiction, including items on or not on the agenda. Madam Clerk, do we have any speakers tonight?
We do not have any speakers here in person. However, Art, if you could unmute our virtual audience and allow them to speak if they wish.
Moving through the list. 1 moment. Well, attendees, you now have the ability to unmute yourself if there's anything you'd like to present to the board at this time. No response.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the consent items. Can I have a second and a,
I so move.
Yeah.
Second.
all right. Board Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Director Gould,
Aye.
Wood,
Aye.
Sheets. Aye. Director Rice, have you joined us virtually? Director Jones,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
and Sailors.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Next on the agenda are the presentation items. The first item tonight is the board swearing in ceremony. Chief Harms. Sworn in again.
Sure. Everybody gets to come up for the board members.
We have Cindy Sailors returning for Division 1. We're welcoming Robert Weber in Division 3. And also John Costa in Division 9. Brian Rice will also be sworn in. However, he is not with us this evening. We will swear him in on another evening.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California. I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Bob, can meet you to the back.
Okay. Right, which is which? Over here.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, welcome to my two new directors to the dais.
Thank you.
Moving on to the next presentation item. Chief Harms, will you meet me down here?
Oh, sure.
On behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to thank you for being Metro Fire's sixth fire chief. You moved your family to California and dedicated over 6 years to this organization. Your experience and career with the Phoenix Fire Department helped you accomplish so many wonderful things while here at Metro Fire, many of which are mentioned throughout this resolution. The board wishes you and your family the best in whatever the future has in store, and we hope this serves as a reminder of the impact you have had on Metro Fire. Thank you very much for your service.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Harms. The next item on the presentation list is Honor Guard. Captain Steve Mayer will come up and give us a presentation and explain how they work and what they do for us.
Good evening, Metro Fire Board, Steve Merritt. It's a pleasure to meet you all. Metro Fire, good evening. It's an honor and a privilege for me to be here in this room with all of you. I was asked to come here tonight to give a presentation to the Metro Fire Board. But I think it's also very important that I give this presentation to our membership as well, to the Metro Fire family. I want to give a little bit of history on how the Honor Guard was formed and how we've gotten to where we are today. The Honor Guard started in the mid-90s. There was a line of duty death up in Seattle. And Bob Werner, who used to work Engine 61, and another member had gone up there to a funeral. And when they went to that funeral, they saw there was an Honor Guard to provide honors to the family. And on the plane ride back, they said, "Yeah, we don't have anything like that. What would we do if something like that happens here in Sacramento?" So together, there was two people. It was Bob Werner and a gentleman named Gene Dibble, who's a captain for Sacramento Fire. And together, those two put a group of people together, and it was about three members on the Metro side, 3 members on the city side. There was a gentleman named Dave Tanner from Folsom that was in it, and John Juker from Oak Grove. They operated an Honor Guard for about from the mid-90s all the way up until about 2007, when there was a line of duty death in Contra Costa County. Scott Desmond and Matt Burton. They were killed, and the local 522 put together a bus. I don't know if any of these members were here then and had the opportunity to go down there. But when our union president at that time was on that bus, he pulled Andy Whaley and myself aside, who were trying to redevelop our Honor Guard and give it a little bit of energy. So he said, "Look, let's have the two of you get together, find a group of people, and let's bring them all together. Let's make one united front and make one Honor Guard representing the region here." So what the local 522 did, with the help of Andy Whaley and many other members, we went out and we got representation from every unit in our local 522. We started with about 21 people. When we all got together, we started to meet. We said, "This is outstanding. We have 21 dedicated people that want to do the right thing and want to provide services for families." Well, the problem with it was some people marched this way, some people marched that way. Some people didn't know, do you do a hand salute while you're indoors or do you not? So what we did was we decided to go to the union and say, "Listen, we have this group of dedicated people, but some members are, doing it a certain way, and we needed to be trained the same." So the union stepped up and they provided us with training. We went out and got trained through a company called VFL. It's out of Goshen, Indiana. And it's a week to a week and a half long training where they specialize in funeral details, protocols, flag etiquette, and everything else in between. So now we had these 21 members that were representing our union. They were also representing Metro Fire. And with the training, we decided if we're going to go out there as one unit, we can't have different patches on our shoulders. So if you look at our patch, our uniform was developed by all the members. And to give you a little bit of history on this uniform, if you look at the patch, it says Sacramento Area Firefighters Local 522 Honor Guard. So there's no designator for any of our organizations when we're wearing this uniform. So when I'm wearing this uniform tonight, if you will have it, I'm a Metro Fire member. If you look at the black stripe on our pant, we decided to put that black stripe there to mourn the brothers and sisters that have fallen before us. We don't have a name tag on our Honor Guard because when we operate as your Honor Guard, we are one unit, we're a team, we're a family. We're not individuals. So I wanted to give Metro Fire and the board a little bit of history on that. Unfortunately, Bob Werner, as many of you know, passed away in 2008. And that was at that point where I think Andy Whaley and I really realized, wow, Bob Werner did a lot for this honor guard. He held it together for the area. And he definitely made a ripple effect in this region for people. So I would also, I'd also like to recognize the Metro Fire members that are on the honor guard. We have Captain Aaron Todd, we have Matt Arnold, we have Cody Powers, and we have Matt Christensen. I'm going to also let the membership know, our goal this year is to have more members come to our honor guard. And Metro Fire, if you're interested in coming to the honor guard, please, we would love to have you. What does this take to become an honor guard member and to do what we do? The honor guard is 100% voluntary. We do approximately 40 to 45 events a year. We primarily do retiree funerals. We do about 16 retiree funeral services a year. Unfortunately, we have the opportunity to usually do 1, maybe 2 line of duty funerals a year. And we also do things like this. We do promotion ceremonies. We do graduations. Many of you have seen us in that capacity. What the union does is the union has provided uniforms for us. They support us 100%. When there's a line of duty death anywhere in the country, if it's a multiple line of duty death within our bylaws of the union, we make sure that we send representation for Metro Fire or our local 522 to that funeral service. We had 3 of our members go back and represent Metro Fire in the Baltimore City triple line of duty death. We've had 8 of our members go to the Yarnell 19 funeral service and represent Metro Fire in our local. So we've had the opportunity to go all over the country and represent Metro Fire and that patch. And it's a pretty proud feeling when you get to do that, when you get to go across the country and show your patch off. What's next for the honor guard? The biggest thing for the honor guard that's next, we're actually working with Parker Wilburn. I think he's in here. We're working with a regional SOG committee to put together funeral protocols throughout the entire region. So we've actually gone to the operations chiefs through the regional SOG committee. They support it. So we're currently in the process of trying to do that and put that together. So when we have a funeral service, it will be the same for every organization, and it'll make things very clear. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for your time. Thank you for allowing me to come in, give a little bit of history of the honor guard, Metro Fire. Thank you, Metro Fire Board.
Thank you very much, Captain. The next item on the agenda, action item number 1, the labor negotiations. We will take care of that after we come back from closed session. So we will be moving to item number 2. The ratification of resolution to extend teleconference of board meetings. So this means that for the next 30 days, we can extend our ability to have our board meetings in person like this and still be able to have Zoom. Can I get a motion in a second, please?
Madam Chair, make a motion.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Can I get the roll called, please?
Director Gould,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Wood,
Aye.
Sheets,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Costa,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
and Sailors.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. The next item on the agenda is the election of board officers for next year. So I would like to nominate as president of the board for next year, Mr. Director Delman Clark.
Second that.
Well, let's see if he accepts the nomination.
Right now.
Don't let him up.
I proudly accept it.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
So do we have a nomination, a motion, and do we vote on this?
We vote, is that separately?
Do you, if it's a motion for the president, we'll do it separately, and then we'll need separate motions for the other
Okay,
offices.
so let's hear a first and a second on this.
I'll move it then. I'll
Okay,
move the nomination.
And I'll second.
okay. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Director Gould,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Wood,
Aye.
Sheets,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Costa,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
and Sailors.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. For the next position for Vice President, would anyone like to make a nomination?
Madam Chair, I'd make a motion to elect Director Gould, or to nominate Director Gould as Vice President.
I second it.
Well, let's see if you'll accept the
Oh, that's-
nomination first.
Only because Delman accepted.
All
I'll
right.
second that.
All right, so do we have a first emotion?
I will move it.
And
Oh,
second.
I'll second.
Okay, let's call the roll, please.
Director Gould,
No, I'll stay. Can I, right? We got a
You can.
quorum. We're good.
absolutely.
Move along.
Weber,
Aye.
Wood,
Aye.
Sheets,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Costa,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
and Sailors.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, for the next office of secretary, can I get someone to nominate someone?
Madam Chair, I would like to nominate Director Ted Wood for that position.
Thank you. Director Wood, will you accept that?
Yeah, it'd be my honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Madam Clerk, let's, do we have a second, a motion in a second? We have both?
That was the motion.
Okay, okay.
I'll take Director Jones as the first and Director Clark as the second.
Thank you. Let's call that roll, please.
Director Gould,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Wood,
Aye.
Sheets,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Costa,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
and Sailors.
Aye,
Motion passes.
thank you. Congratulations to the new officers for next year.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
The next item on the agenda tonight is a resolution commending Director White. Chief Harms and Board Clerk Pania.
I'll say a few words about Director White. He was here earlier today and was not able to make it back. A few years ago, when Director Jim Barnes stepped down, Director White stepped into that position and then went through and was elected for 2 years then. Director White was a past member here, his fire service history, his involvement in the community truly was an asset to the board during his time there. I really appreciated his support during that time, and as always, taking that opportunity to support his community, which he lives in. Yep.
All right, I'm going to read the resolution into the record. Whereas the Board of Directors of the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District wish to acknowledge that Walt White has served as a director of the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District with distinction. And whereas Director White began his service as an appointed board member on April 23rd, 2020, was uncontested in the short-term election for Division 9 in December 2020, and faithfully served the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District with sound judgment, responsibility, professionalism, and integrity throughout his tenure for over 2 years. And whereas Director White served the district with the highest degree of diligence and skill, including serving on the Policy Committee in 2021, as Secretary on the Executive Committee in 2022, as an alternate for the Sacramento County 2x2 Committee. And whereas Director White represented the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District at the 2022 Cap to Cap Conference in Washington, D.C. Now therefore be it resolved that the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District and its Board of Directors hereby commend Walt White for devoting his sincere commitment, promulgating the district goals and objectives, and for providing an outstanding record of dedication to the fire service and the citizens which it serves, and wishes to thank him for a job well done. And before you this evening, you do have the option to adopt this resolution with a motion and a second.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move a recommendation to adopt the resolution commending Director White.
Second.
Sounds like we have a motion and a second. Will you call the roll, please?
Director Gould,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Wood,
Aye.
Sheets,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Costa,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
and Sailors.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. The next thing on the agenda tonight are reports, the president's report, and that's me. Until next year, then it's you, buddy. In 2023, the Cap to Cap program is taking place April 21st through April 26th. Put it on your calendars. And let Board Clerk Pania know if you're interested in attending, because the event fills up quickly and they need to reserve the spots as early as possible in 2023. So January, at the very latest February, get your wants known to Board Clerk Pania. And that's it. Chief Harms, what's your report tonight?
A very different one tonight. A
Okay,
goodbye report tonight.
Oh,
6 years have passed by and it has been a blink of the eye during that time for it to go through. In 2016 of coming this way, there was a safe path of staying in Arizona or a risk of leaving and coming here. We took the risky path and came this way, and I have no regrets whatsoever. It has been just a tremendous ride to be here. The first person I want to look is in the back there, and she'll stand up, is my wife, Katie. She loves this portion of it. That has been incredible support from my wife to be able to pack up and leave the kids and family and come west for an adventure. And she has been the support, along with our kids being support, and two of my long-term friends, if they'll stand up in the back, Jeff Case and Calvin Barty, both are members for 30 plus years together, and Phoenix came over here today just to celebrate also. So thank you guys for being here. From the very beginning, one of the questions that I was asked repeatedly is, how long are you going to stay? And that would kind of come and go, but that question was asked often. And one of my past mentors always told me, never give them an answer. Always tell them you're staying forever. But I wish I could remember the person he was at station, it was at station 21, and we were sitting at the table, and he goes, I think I know when you're gonna leave. I was like, oh, well, please inform me when I'm going to leave. And he says, when you have grandkids, you are going to be drawn back to Phoenix at that time. And I can't remember who it was, but he was definitely right on track, is that as having a new grandkid and being away, both of us want to be in Arizona where they are at, and we'll be moving that way to go there. So moving on to the next chapter, but before we go there, this has truly been one of the highlights of my career. It's been 36 years in the fire service. The ability to be here has been just tremendous. Our number one priority throughout my time has been service delivery, and I'm so glad to see so many members here tonight, because truly what they do on the street every single day is absolutely incredible. It's a very demanding, a very tough system to work in, and some people don't make it here. But we run over 300 calls a day. The level of professionalism and the bar that is set is incredible. And the service that you all deliver every single day out there as a fire chief makes me proud to be in this position, and I'm proud of each and every one of those people that are out there. And the consistency across the district on either one of the shifts, or from the north to the south to the east to the west, is incredible. I said it earlier, I listened to a lot of fires. The other night we had one of our BCs, Ross Burrell, running a fire, and it just makes you proud of listening to the direction, the companies, the response by the companies, and the outcome from that event moving forward. The only way we do that is there has to be a support mechanism behind that, and that's the professional staff. And the professional staff in this district is just top notch. And they keep the system running, they keep things in line, they support that operation that happens every day. And a lot of them, you never get to see them out there, but they are the people that are behind the scenes that are keeping the organization moving forward. I believe we have great regional fire partners. The fire chiefs, Felipe, Ken, Chris, and Kenny from the airport do just a tremendous job again, supporting each other across the region. And for me as fire chief, they have been great partners and great friends during my time that I've been here. And then today, and really this last month, it's been incredible amount of support from the community that has reached out to me, and elected folks, the people that interact with Metro just all the time. Part of it is relationship, but part of it is, again, it goes back to what we do every single day and how well we do it out there. Couple folks that I'd like to recognize, I'll just do a couple of them because there's always those people that you miss. But working daily for the last 6 years, there's a few people that have had to put up with me in and out. It's been the deputy chiefs. It's rare for a fire chief to be able to come in and pick his deputies and then have them retire and pick the next group. But Brian Shannon, Greg Cassantine, and Eric Bridge definitely helped me transition to be here and do a great job. Adam Mitchell, Tyler Wagman, and Ty Bailey then stepped into some shoes, and they have absolutely hit the ground running and going forward with that. And it has been absolutely tremendous working with them. During my time, I've had 2 PIOs. We had Chris Vestal, and then today we have Parker, who is sitting there with his hat on. He's probably working on social media over there. I think I've given a tough read for Parker, is that for the most part, I let people run with things. I give him a little bit of direction, and then every so often when he gets out of bounds, I help him get back in again. But he has done just a tremendous job of taking us in our social media and being really the face of the district that is out there. Some people will ask if he's the fire chief to me and stuff, but he does a great job of being the face of it. One of the things that I'm very proud of is Jeff Wells. A lot of people in here know Jeff Wells as a firefighter. I've known Jeff Wells as the peer support leader. And what he has done since 2016, there was a conference that we went to together, has just been incredible for supporting our members. And I think if we hadn't started that and had that in place, that the COVID and the impact of COVID would have even been worse than it was. And so I know there's members that are in here, part of that peer support team. Thank you. Jeff and I work together. He is another person that he would call at all hours. And I know it wasn't that he was checking in, but he was taking care of people and doing just a great job of it. The other person that has been there by my side all the way through there is Jill Guzman. And having a professional assistant is that knows all the history of this district, what is going on, knows all the connections, again, has led to great success. And thank you to each and every one of those as we move forward. And lastly, to all of you as board members, thank you for your support over the years. We've had a few people that have changed, but overall it has been a core group that has been there since day one. Each of you have a very different background, a very different personality, very different experiences. That diversity, I truly think, is what makes a great board for being able to lead a district and giving direction to me as a fire chief. So put it all together, retirement. One last quote here is, that's when you return from work one day and you say, "Hi, honey, I'm home forever." So I'm home forever. So thank you for the support.
Thank you, Chief. Now we should ask Katie if she's ready to have you home forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Next up is operations report, Deputy Chief Mitchell.
Thank you, President Sailors, and good evening, everybody. Thank you to everybody that's here tonight. Appreciate you guys coming out. First off, just a congratulations and welcome to our newest board members. Looking forward to working with you in the near future and beyond. Congratulations to Walt White, and a big congratulations and thank you to Chief Harms for your service to the district and the leadership you brought over the last 6 years plus years, and wishing you well in your retirement. So with that, operations report. Since our last meeting about a month ago, we've ran 8,949 total incidents, which averages just about 319 calls a day. Usually we're about that 270 to 300 number. So you can hear, and we talked about 300 calls a day. It's been extremely busy over there in the last month. We've had 275 fires during that time with an average of just under 10 fire incidents per day. As well as the busyness that's been out there, I'd like to spend just a couple minutes talking about our medic drawdown and the surge contracts that we had brought to you a number of months ago on an update for that. We've seen a steep rise in the call volume over the last couple of weeks, as I mentioned, due to a number of factors, not to exclude the flu, the colds, RSV that's going around, some COVID upticks. We've been at drawdown in the last 14 days, 74 different times. Drawdown criteria is when our fire dispatch gets to a level in our medic drawdown plan where they reach out and notify EMS 24. So 74 times in the last 2 weeks. Very, very busy out there. On the 29th of November, we actually were notified 17 different times that day that we met our drawdown criteria. We were actually at 100% drawdown with 0 medics in the system for just a couple minutes in the afternoon for the first time in a number of months. It's been chaotic to say the least. Over those 2 weeks, we've requested surge coverage 8 different times. We were able to fill those requests. 2 times we were able to get, or 1 time we were able to get 2 ambulances out of our surge contracts. We've been able to get 1 ambulance 5 times on the requests, and 1 of those times we weren't able to get any surge ambulances. So far during the implementation of that surge contract, we found that during those times of drawdown that we're experiencing, those companies that we have surge contracts with are experiencing the same drawdown. So it's difficult to get those fills. So just on the other side of that, we have been and continue to be committed to supporting our members while collaborating with the regional partners to address these issues in the short term, and have developed a number of plans. I'm very proud of the EMS chiefs for getting together and coming up with some mitigations for the short term. However, the long-term fix will need to be some higher level discussions, legislation, and protocol changes that we will continue to work on as well. Unfortunately, we're not alone, and these are statewide issues, as you all are aware. But pursuing the implementation of those recommendations from the EMSA's APOT committee that occurred last year are going to be very important. And so a lot of work needs to go in here from us locally, as well as on regional level, as well as statewide level, to get those moving forward. But I think it's important to recognize, as a number of them are here tonight, our members' resilience and levels of professionalism during these times cannot be understated, and that while they continue to provide that excellence in the community-focused service delivery that they go out there and do every single day. So thank you to all of them during these challenging times. A couple of other items tonight. I'm proud to report on the regional rescue drill that's gone on for the last week. There's been all 3 shifts have been involved in that drill that include companies from us, from Sac City Fire, Cosumnes Fire, Folsom Fire, West Sac, and Roseville. The final drill occurred today. We attended all of them, which was great. The scenario was a large-scale RIC deployment at a commercial fire with a structural collapse and 2 firefighters trapped. The crews had to breach through concrete walls and navigate through debris fields to reach the victims and then extricate them. It's a very intensive and long-term drill. The scenario took approximately 3 hours to complete. So they got out there and exercised their skills very in depth. The drill was hosted by Sac City Fire, so we thank them for the invite. But I would like to finish up by saying that our members performed extremely well out there. They were at a very, very high level of proficiency. And I wanted to tell those folks a great job, well done. So, and then finally tonight, as we talked about how busy we've been and we can't highlight all of the incidents, I wanted to give you one incident this evening that has a very positive outcome that we don't always get to hear about. So it's important to highlight those as well. Back on November 1st, Engine 66 and Medic 61 responded for a violent crime shooting incident. The crews arrived to find a victim that had 3 separate gunshot wounds to the chest and abdomen. Captain Pham, Engineer Kane, Firefighter Skaggs on Engine 66, along with firefighters Low Height and Davis on Medic 61, moved quickly to apply occlusive dressings, decompress the victim's chest, and establish multiple IVs. TXA was also administered, which is a blood clotting medication to help with hemorrhage control. The patient was transported code 3 to the hospital, and I'm very proud to report that after 2 weeks, that patient was released home from the hospital. So again, lots of credit to our crews that are involved in this incident for the care they provided, and just another testament to the level of professionalism and pride we should have in all of our members out in the field. So thank you to them. And with that, I'll end my report tonight unless there's any questions.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Chief, thanks for that report. Really quickly, it sounds like, given the description that you just gave us about our surge protection piece, that potentially we need to revisit that. We only have one provider that participates in the surge agreement?
Yeah, Director Gould, currently there's one, we have another one coming online.
Okay,
However, I think we need to temper that with the experiences we've had.
okay,
As far as when we're in drawdown, those companies are also
Sure.
running incidents and in drawdown. We are pushing forward with bringing more on. We're always open to interacting, collaborating with those other companies.
good.
I think some of those other alternatives we're looking at, plans to work within our system that we're working on right now, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, are also going to be important to help mitigate that issue.
Excellent. Thank you.
I have a follow-up question.
Go ahead.
So you mentioned there are some short-term pieces in place. Will you be bringing those back to this board for review?
Yeah, I can bring those back and report out to you about what those are. We have some that are currently in existence as far as combining patients in the hospital, utilizing some rotations. Some of the other partner agencies are working together to send different units to the different hospitals. I am happy to say that we do integrate with those hospitals very early on when we start seeing the wall time issues go up. We get our EMS 24, EMS 22, as well as any chief officers involved in those. And then we're also in contact and communication with the hospital council and the high level administrators at those hospitals to help us in those acute times that we're seeing that. It's every single day that it's happening right now. We've seen some multiple hour wall times that have been, we saw a little bit of a dip recently over the last few months. It's climbed right back up since really after Thanksgiving. All the families got together and I think we started to see some of those flu things kick off and spreading of those viruses. But yeah, we can come through and we can report out on a few other items that we're just trying to finalize right now, but those short-term pieces are what we can do right now. Those Band-Aids, frankly,
Right.
the longer term stuff that we need to really focus on and push forward is those updates to legislation, getting the support of the EMSAs and the local EMS agencies, changing protocols and allowing us to really focus on pre-hospital care providers and getting them off of the wall and getting them back out in the systems, back to home to get rest, refresh, and get back out there and run the calls.
Great, great. So then on the long-term piece, be my follow-up. What do you need from the board?
So we're developing those plans right. We have and we're happy to provide you that report. There was 22 different recommendations that were brought forward from the statewide committee the Chief Harm sat on that went to the EMSA, that there's different levels of integration. We'll come back to you with a different, with all of those different levels and how we can get support from you. And also our other local elected officials, which will be hugely beneficial to us to be able to continue to push that message forward, whether it's a county system problem or an issue we can address, or a state level issue that will take longer term, but it's definitely in the best interest of us to get behind.
Very good.
And working with labor as well. I think that's a big piece.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you for your report tonight. Next up is local firefighters union 522 report. BC Matt Cole.
Good evening, board and everyone. There's some people out in the hallway. Squeeze their way in here. I'm gonna try to make this quick because I'm sure a lot of people are falling asleep back there. On my report, I'm just gonna make some thank yous. First, I'm gonna start off thanking Steve Mayer. Is he still in the room? Steve is a rock star. Our entire honor guard, our 10s, we could do no better. I mean, it was very evident when our brother Max Fortuna was murdered in Stockton. Our honor guard went down there and ran that service. And it puts so many organizations at ease when we can bring that level of professionalism and know-how and peace of mind in their darkest hour. So I'm so grateful for all of them. We support them to the fullest as an e-board, and we're very lucky to have them. So thank you to Steve for his presentation. Thank you to the Metro members who participate. If there is any interest in the room, please follow up with Steve and I'm going to just put Esther on the spot. I know Esther Blake has an interest in doing and hopefully we get her involved here. Yeah. Thank you, Esther. Director White for his service. Walter's a friend and mentor. He stepped up when Jim moved. He served honorably, and I'm sure that Walter has a whole number of opportunities that are unfolding in front of him. If we all know Walter, there's probably a list, and we wish him well in all those things. And I know he's not here, but we should all be very appreciative of what Walter has provided to the community and this board and all of us as membership through years. Chief Arms, there's really nothing that has gone unsaid today. I think you have served the longest tenure as a chief officer for Metro Fire. You have helped us do a lot of really good things. I would like to thank Mrs. Harms as well for taking a leap of faith and letting Todd join the organization. A lot of people don't know this, but when I was preparing for the BC's test, I did it together with Chief Harms, and I said, if you could change one thing, like if you had a magic wand and you could just make something better right now, what would it be? And he didn't say ambulance, he didn't say service delivery, he didn't say new firehouses, he didn't say replace the labor guy. Like, he didn't say any of that stuff. I wasn't that guy. Maybe he would have, I don't know. What he said was he would take the pain and suffering away from our members. Whether it was the impact of the job, the impact on their families, the traumatic experiences we go through. If he had a wand, he would make things better for us. And I truly believe that. And I cannot thank you enough for how you have always defaulted on the side of the men and women. You and I have collaborated on some lists that I don't know a lot of fire chiefs would have done. So thank you for that. And thank you for your service. To those on the board moving into 2023, thank you for your continued service. And for those newly sworn in, thank you very much for answering the call. Welcome to the family. Some of you have always been part of the family. I am really excited about what 2023 looks like for all of us. So thank you for being in this with us. That's why we're in the room. I don't know if this is my spot. I'm just going to go ahead and do it anyway. Chief Haverty, thank you for answering the call too. We are excited to work with you moving into the new calendar year. We have a lot of good things in motion, and I'm excited to see how those things flourish and fruit those bear. So to all of you who showed up, thank you for coming out tonight. We all get in this job to help people and serve. And I'll tell you, it is an absolute honor to serve those that serve. It's been an exhausting year, I'm not gonna lie, but it is an honor to be part of trying to make things better for you and your families, as you are committed to making things better for all of their families and the people they represent. So I also thank you for the work you're about to put in closed session to talk about the work that we have done together over the past 12 months. We've negotiated 2 contracts in 12 months. I think that's unprecedented. So thank you for that. That's unique. Thank you to the negotiation teams who have helped us do that, both on the management and labor side, and all of you that have played a part of that. And what you will be looking at is our opportunity to control our own destiny to an extent. What Chief Mitchell shared with you with the surge protection and the hospital wall times and the lift that we have to do with legislation, labor's committed to working with that. But we have the ability to control something like recruiting people to put on our medic units and deploy more of them and increase our service delivery on all fronts. And tonight is not the first step. The first step was a long time ago. It's a culmination of a whole bucket full of effort. That was the best. I almost said bad word. And you will take a conclusionary step to that lift so that we can get busy tomorrow printing leaflets that we hope to fill our ambulances with and circulate out and roll up and put in stockings and stuff mailboxes, and however we have to get 100 good people here to do what we are making a good union job so that we control the service that we deliver. That's tonight. So thank you for everything you've done to date with all the tentative agreements. And we're looking forward to hitting the ground running once this is all locked up. So with that, thanks. Here's to a happy 2023 and hopefully an enjoyable retirement. And let's not kid ourselves. You know, he's not going to be home forever. Like, I mean, he's going to be around. He's probably got 3 other things he's already looking at. So with that, unless anybody has any questions, I'm going to wrap this up and again, just a sincere thank you to everybody.
Any questions?
Great report.
Mic drop.
Thank you. All right, how can we follow that up? Next up, committee and delegate reports. Executive committee actually has a meeting scheduled for January 12th at 5:30. Next up, Communication Center JPA, Deputy Chief Wagaman.
Good evening, President Sailors, Directors, Chief Harms for the last time. For the new Board of Directors, my name is Tyler Wagaman, Deputy Chief of Support Services. I serve as your delegate on the Dispatch Board, which is a JPA. So tonight I will give you a brief update on our last board meeting, which occurred on November 22nd at 9 o'clock in the morning here at the Metro Fire Board Chambers. During that meeting, we had AC Wilson. He serves as the delegate for Folsom Fire, AC Williams for Sacramento City Fire, DC Quiggle for Consumnes Fire, and myself representing you. During that meeting, we had two presentation items. The first presentation was from Richardson and Company, an audit firm who looked through our financial records for fiscal year 21-22. There were 8 recommendations during that audit process. All 8 were initiated during the audit and finished with a clean bill. So congratulations to the finance staff at the Comm Center. They did once again a great job keeping all the money in order during that fiscal year. The second presentation item was a slight change for the board clerk. We have a new board clerk. Her name is Kristen Ellis. So we congratulated her as Marisha Schmatovic moved on to become the administrative manager at the dispatch center. So congratulations to her as well. We had one action item, and that was the approval of janitorial services for a leased property at 10411 Old Placerville Road. That was unanimously approved. Our next meeting is going to be scheduled for January 10th, again, here at Metro Board Chambers, 9 o'clock in the morning. If you have no questions for me, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much to you. Next up, Finance and Audit Committee, Director Wood.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Finance and Audit Committee has not met since our last board meeting. Our next meeting, or the next meeting, is January 26, 2023.
Thank you. Policy Committee, Director Gould.
No report.
Thank you. This now brings us to board members' questions and comments. And with that, we shall start with Division 9.
No questions or comments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, let's get your name so I can get it down.
Yes, John Costa.
John Costa. If I write it down, I will remember it. Okay. Next up is Director Jones.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to Director Costa, because now he's to my left, so the heat will be on you first for the comments now.
Fantastic.
Well, actually, we'll see how that works. It's no big thing, because we do have some changing here. I have a number of thank yous and best wishes for everyone. Best wishes to Mrs. Harms and subsequently her husband. Thank you very much. Best wishes, best of luck for the future. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank Captain Steve Mayer for the Honor Guard for an excellent presentation and to reaffirm the huge importance that the Honor Guard plays up and down this throughout the nation, really. So thank you to him and all the folks that have worked over the years with the Honor Guard. I would like to thank Director White. It was a pleasure working with him these past few years, and I'm with everyone else. He probably has a list of, I know he has a list of things going on, but I will be calling upon him for advice and consent type issues. He's always a good reference. So thank you to Director White for his years of service here at Metro. I'd like to thank President Sailors for her leadership this past year as president. Well done. I'd like to welcome our new board members, Director Costa and Director Weber. Best of luck. Please feel free to ask anybody in this room any questions or comments that you might have. That fostering of communication and relationship building is huge. Welcome aboard. I'm looking forward. Oh, congrats to our new officers, Director Clark, Gould, and Wood. Well done. Now hop to it. We're looking forward to it. Keep it up. Keep it up. And finally, a thank you, and I look forward to working with Interim Fire Chief Dan Haverty in 2023. Madam President.
Thank you. Director Rice, do you have any comments you'd like to make tonight?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd first like to, Chief Harms, Todd, congratulations. And I knew you were the right guy from when I first talked to you when I was the president of 522, and just thank you for your leadership. And I totally understand what it means to go home and to be done, although I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I just thank you for your leadership. A couple of things as we move forward. I very much appreciate the daily updates that I receive regarding staffing and how we're doing, and then the major incidents. And this one has really struck me as I've watched these. As one of the largest fire agencies in the state of California, we have one of the poorest staffing models. And by that, I mean 4-person companies. And by listening to Chief Mitchell's report on alarm activity and run activity, and then fire activity per day, it's pretty unprecedented what we're seeing in these days. And the men and women, they need our support, and they need us to find a way to achieve 4-person staffing. I'll settle for the start with the engine companies that are designated as 4 right now, to let's make it a goal in 2023 to get them staffed every day with 4. And then after that, one of the things that I've observed since July that I really want to change, I really am going to demand that our workers' compensation third-party administrator refers to all of our members by their rank and their name, first and last. And that if we, as an elected body, should make a demand upon them that they know when they're discussing an injured member of this fire department, that attached to that member is usually a wife and children. They're more than just a number, and they're not something we get stuck with. We're honored, we're honored to have them serve our community. And that is going to be a change on the comp company that I will not sit still for. I'm done listening to some of the rhetoric and referral to our members. I won't have it anymore. Steve Mayer, Captain Mayer, we go back a long way with the Honor Guard. Thank you, brother. And you represent well, and your team represents well. And I just want to let you know how much I appreciate the job that you've done since day one, all those years ago. I have a lot more to say, but in the sense of brevity, and this is a holiday, and I've got a couple of grandsons running around that I need to get to. I'm going to do that. The men and women on the floor, I've been one of you. I have been you. And my respect for you and my respect for the job that you do will never wane. Keep it up. I know that when I came in the fire department, the old guys looked at us and went, who's this skinny guy that weighs $140 with long hair? And what's he going to do to help us? And most of us did that when new guys came on underneath us. But I can tell you, having watched you through social media and then watched you in the field when you don't even know that I'm there, I'm very proud of the work that you do, and I appreciate it. We're going to move forward together in 2023, and we're going to meet every challenge that faces us, and we are going to become a department that is known for how we treat our members and how we treat the public. And that gauge will be on you, the men and women that serve, and on us as elected officials. So I just want to thank everybody, wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I am contained. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Director Rice. Director Sheets.
Just a few things. I'll make it short. Chief, thank you so much for the last 6 years. We both started the board at the same time. Really have enjoyed working with you. We haven't always saw eye to eye on things, but it was always professional. Truly felt privileged and still do feel privileged to have worked with you for the last 6 years. Chief Haverty, looking forward to working with you and seeing how we can support you as the board and you supporting the rest of the men and women of Metro Fire. I'd like to welcome the new board members. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. And congratulations on another term. Thank you for your leadership over the last year. Being board president is not easy, especially during this unprecedented time. I hate that word. It's just like a trigger, but really appreciated your service this year. I'd be remiss to say that I'm going to miss Director White on the board. He has been a great partner, and I wish him the best of luck. And other people have said it. I'm sure he's got 15 other things lined up to keep him busy, but I wish him the best. I just want to wish all of the membership and all of the frontline staff a safe Christmas, and recognize that a lot of members are not going to be with their family. So the sacrifice their families are making this year. And I really, I love seeing the amount of members in the meeting today. It's why I love being part of this board. So I just want to thank everybody and wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Director Sheets. Director Wood?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Want to say welcome to Director Costa, Director Weber. Look forward to working with you both. Want to publicly thank Captain Lawrence and his crews over at Medic 62 and Engine 62 for letting me tag along with them for a few hours, a few weeks back. And BC Cole, I appreciate all the time you've spent coordinating visits and getting us out of the station. So I appreciate all the time you've done to make that happen. Need to publicly acknowledge Walt White and Randy Orzali, both of those individuals who've contributed years to this organization and have worked behind the scenes on many, many things. And their commitment, their dedication, and their insight and their brains will definitely be missed. I've enjoyed working with both of them. Director Sailors, thank you for your leadership over this last year. It's been a very good year. I'm glad we can wrap things up and move forward on this one. So thank you. Chief, I didn't get a chance to see you earlier today. I do apologize, but it has been a blast. I can't believe 6 years is over already. I appreciate everything you've done. The communication with us has improved over the prior years. The daily updates, like the prior director said, have been are very welcome. And you instilling that in your deputy chiefs is an example of one of the things you've done that have made this a more efficient, better working operation. The story I like to tell about you and you coming on is in the years prior to your arrival, 14, 15, going out and visiting stations, there were some very difficult conversations to have at the tables with the members because of what was going on at the time. When you came on board, the efforts you made to reach out, get out in the stations, talk to the members. A few months into your tenure, I was going out to stations, and all of a sudden the biggest problem that our members were having was whether they can wear their hat backwards or not. And that shift over just the course of 12 months is very indicative of your ability to get in and do some really important things. And I thank you for that. And I know our men and women thank you for that as well. But I wish you all the best as you move forward, Chief. Thank you. Lastly, the one thing you did mention, I had to add it here to talk about, you mentioned peer support, and that program has grown significantly over the last few years under your leadership. And that is an indispensable service that needs to be reminded. Our members need to know whatever trials, tribulations, stresses are going on in their lives, there's always somebody here in the agency that can help them. And just, we need to make sure that they take advantage of that. So please keep those in mind. Wish everybody Merry Christmas, be safe, and take care of each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Wood. Director Weber.
Thank you. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the board for a very warm welcome. It's very much appreciated. Also like to thank and congratulate Chief Harms first and foremost for your retirement and the service that you provided Metro Fire. Sorry that we haven't had a chance to work together, but there were many, many good things from the rank and file. So I thank you. Thank Captain Mayor for his report. I think it was refreshing for the board to know who you are and what you do. It's also very important for the older folks to have a refresher course on what you do. So thank you very much. I would also like to thank my family for all of the support in this endeavor, and also the Metro Fire family. And not just talking about the badges, but everybody for entrusting me in this honored role. So I know I'm a duck out of water right now, but I will get uncomfortable with this pond. So I thank you all very much.
Thank you. Director Gould.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just really quickly, it's wonderful to be near the end and just say ditto to everything that was been said all evening. Chief, I remember very fondly the day that we finished interviewing you and driving home, and I knew that we had hit the ball pretty hard. I knew we'd hit it pretty hard, but today it proves that we got a grand slam out of you. That your 6 years of, well, I know somebody doesn't like the word unprecedented, but in unprecedented times, you and your team stepped up. And so we're very grateful for the sacrifice that you gave this city, this community at large. So thank you for that, and best of luck to you in your retirement and your family. I'd also like to thank, frankly, the men and women who put their hat in for the interim chief's role. That's not an easy job, and it doesn't make our job any easier as well. So thank you for all of those professionals that put their name in the hat and frankly made it one of the most difficult days in our tenure as directors. Everything's been said about Randy and Walt. Our community, again, just very much like Chief Harms, have been immensely blessed by their insight and their dedication to public service. So we wish them well. And at the end of today, I want to thank also the men and women at various levels in this organization that participated in working with our labor group and negotiating our contract. It's such a great thing to be in this season with that not hanging over our heads. And that issue resonates down to the youngest child in our family at Metro Fire. So thanks for all that hard work. I think it was a heavy lift, and I'm proud that it's at the stage it is. Finally, it is the holiday season, and I know that you men and women spent every day serving others. Could I just ask for this to happen? Could you think of an individual, a specific individual tonight that is lonely and does not have a family like ours, and seek them out and throw your arms around them? Tell them how much you love them, because you're never sure how long they're going to be around. And I think it's important as a public safety organization that we do that as a business every day when someone calls. Could I just challenge you to do it when no one calls? That'll make this holiday season so much richer for every single one of us. And I also can't believe that I've got the greatest thing on the planet keeping me from seeing all of you. It's fantastic. It's just awesome to have that there and what it represents. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Director Grove. Director Clark.
Wow. What an act of follow. I just want to congratulate our new members of the board, and also to thank, it's all been said, but thank Director White, Director Orsali for their service. Chief, it's been a pleasure, sitting down with you, chatting with you, and discussing a lot of issues that we've had to deal with. Appreciate your tenure, your leadership, everything that we've done for this for the district. And I wish you and your wife Godspeed on your retirement. And just like it's been said before, that you're not gonna sit around the house and just watch TV or do something. I mean, I know you'd be busy with your grandkids, but you're the kind of guy that's gonna keep busy. And I wish you a lot of luck on that. Also, I appreciate my fellow board members for the nomination of the presidency for next year. I will do my utmost best to represent and follow up on Director Saylor's leadership and those that have come before us. I'm very excited about it. I think last year at the beginning of the session, the term, we asked about if we were optimistic, and I was one of the people that said I was optimistic about 22, and so far I really haven't been wrong about it. We've met a lot of challenges, and we'll continue to meet and resolve a lot of challenges that we have coming before us. I so appreciate the help that we have in the relationship that we have in Local 522. A wonderful organization, and the staff. Melissa is she's another marvel in this organization. And I thank all of you Let's see, what else? Presentation from the honor guard was just amazing. The history, I've been here a while, and then just like Director Weber mentioned, it's nice to have us, the old timers, you know, remind us of what they do and you know, what a great group they are. Let me see, let's see, I don't want to miss anything. Lastly, I would like to thank the men and women of this organization. This is a tremendous organization. It's bar none. It's got to be one of the best fire districts in the world. I'm not even going to go around the country. I'm going in the world, you know, and you guys are great. The community thanks you. I wish every one of you and your families a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year coming up, and we look forward to getting the next year. And we're gonna work hard, and we're gonna make this thing happen and provide service for the community. And looking forward to working with Chief Haverty. You know, very excited about that and the things that we can accomplish, and you know, and his contribution to the district. So with that, I have to say just thank you. I'm done.
Thank you, Director Clark. And I agree with everything everyone said. And so I am going to say ditto. Ditto to everything. And thank you to everyone who is out there working tonight and all of these nights that are coming through the holiday season. Thank you very much for being there, being the professionals that you are. We will now go to closed session and do our thing in closed session. Thank you very much for being here.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You're so good.
Can I get oh yeah, 2 minutes. Restroom break.
I'll be quick.
Bye.
All right, good evening, everyone. The board met in closed session pursuant to Government Code 54957.6, conference with labor negotiation. The board took no action.
Thank you. So, I will take a motion on item number 1-A. A motion in a second, please.
Madam President, I'd like to motion.
Rice will second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second on item A. Will you call the roll, please?
Director Gould.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Wood.
Aye.
Sheets. Rice.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Costa.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
And Sailors.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. On item B, which is the Battalion Chiefs Bargaining Group. Can I get a motion in a second, please?
Make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Will you call the roll, please?
Director Gould.
Still aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Wood.
Aye.
Sheets. Rice.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Costa.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
And Sailors.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. On item C, the administrative support personnel. Can I get a motion in a second?
I'd like to make a motion.
Rice second.
We have the motion and a second. Will you call the roll, please?
Still on.
Weber.
Aye.
Wood.
Aye.
Sheets. Rice.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Costa.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
And Sailors.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. The next item, D, safety senior management and unrepresented confidential employees. Can I get a motion in a second, please?
Rice so moved.
I'll second.
And we have a motion and a second. Will you call the roll, please?
Gould.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Wood.
Aye.
Sheets. Rice.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Costa.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
And Sailors.
Aye.
Motion passes.
On item E, the non-safety senior management and unrepresented confidential employees. Can I get a motion and a second, please?
Like to make a motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Will you call the roll, please?
Director Gould.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Wood.
Aye.
Sheets. Aye. Rice.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Costa.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
And Sailors.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Oh, I call this meeting adjourned
No,
now.
no, no.
Oh my God.
We have F.
One
Yes,
more. We have F?
non-safety senior manager.
I don't have F on mine.
Under action items, the regular one, not under closed session.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah. That's
Okay,
still,
hang on.
I wondered.
Oh,
I think we skipped EMTs and.
Yes.
yes, I did.
I was
There we go.
wondering, yeah.
So
Now I
we
see it.
skipped from D to E, so we need to go back and hit D, which was the EMT and paramedic resolution.
okay. So item memorandum of understanding for SMFD and EMT and paramedic.
Motion?
Second.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Will you call the roll, please?
Director Gould.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Wood.
Aye.
Sheets. Aye. Rice.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Costa.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
And Sailors.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. Are we done now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much.